Today we continue with our topic on intuition and how intuition is linked to authentic writing. I want you to explore for a moment the true essence of yourself, of you, of your being. And if you do that, you'll find that you are far more than your body. All the mechanisms, all the systems of thinking that are happening, where are they happening? They're not happening in your eyes, in the things that you see in front of you in the mirror. They happen within a whole system of your being that is connected to your inner self. And that inner self, it is our responsibility to get attuned to it, to know its intelligence, to know how it operates, so that we can nurture it, so that we can work with it, so that we can draw from it inspiration to write lucidly. So my students' biggest problem is how do I integrate this literature with the research questions and with the methodology and all of these bombastic methodological terms. I usually advise that get into the habit of reading one article at a time. And when you read anything, whether it's a book or an article, connect with the writer. So the first thing you want to check is do are the authors of what you're reading? Which university do they come from? When did they write this article? What are the events that shaped the writing of this article? Intuition, if you are connected to your inner self, it will assist you to read in between the lines. In a lot of writings, the essence is not just in what is written, it's also what is in between the lines. So your intuition assists you first to connect with yourself, with your thinking self, with your intuitive intelligence, with an unconscious part of you that is perfect. And that part of you is what is supposed to be assisting you to write lucidly, authentically, truthfully. Can I tell you that when I read students' work or any writing, you can see if it's really a set of academic rhetoric that is completely delinked to the essence of that particular person. It's very easy to see that. These days, articles that get published have to articulate a bit of you, a bit of your ontology. Forget that word. A bit of your worldview. And that worldview is not something you can just spin. It's something you've got to live. It's something that defines who you are. It defines your values. It defines how you come out, how you show out in life, how you show up in life. So take time to build that intuition. That intuition, some people feel it in the core of their being. The other day I spoke to the chairperson of our board, and she said to me, her tummy, her gut teaches her a lot about what's going on around her. Other people feel intuition from their heart. When you move away from your true essence, you should be able to feel it somewhere in your body. But there's a provision, provided you have taught yourself to listen to that inner voice, that inner essence of you. And great writers, they do everything. Whether it is to write away from the crowds, whether it is to write when everyone is asleep, whether it is to find a perfect environment for writing. They have to just find that inner harmony, that inner balance that allow them to assimilate what they are reading effortlessly, to write intuitively, to write authentically. I just want to share something. You can take it, you can discard it, but it's just something I've just started that is new. I've always known, and you also know, that the moon has a gravitational pull towards us humans. And the reason is that the moon controls the tides in the oceans. We all know that. It controls the movement of the ocean and the water. So, because us as beings, as human beings, 70% of us is made up of water. So clearly the moon has effects on our emotions, on our well-being. Our ancestors, at least the culture I come from, the moon was the biggest source of information. It was a compass to assist in decision making in all sorts of things, especially livelihood and harvesting and the time for planting, etc. So what I've started to do now, I've downloaded an application that tells me the different moon cycles. There are 29 days. The moon is moving through 4 cycles in 29 days. And I've started to observe and write down how I feel, because I've noticed I'm not always effective in writing any day. So I'm trying to observe when are those times when perhaps the moon has got an effect on my lucidity, my connectedness to myself. Because remember, you are not just you alone in a vacuum. You are a consciousness, and you are a consciousness that is part of an infinite consciousness. And can you imagine if you can teach yourself to tap into this infinite consciousness and connect it to your intuition? So the last word from me is that listen to your inner voice. Teach yourself to listen to that inner voice, because that's the voice that is going to come out beautifully, stunningly when you are writing your work. Until next time, thank you.